Hey, what's goody, Frye Gang? It has been a very long time, but I am finally getting around to doing the hot takes video. Now, mind you, there were a hell of a lot more comments than I expected across the 2 community posts I made and on the video of my hot takes. Just on this community post alone, there's like 205, so there's no way I'm covering everything in one video, so I might as well just turn the hot takes, like reading all your hot takes, into its own mini series, because I turn everything into a series on this channel. So I guess this is like the official, 4th series now? I have cut content, merch, and concept art. So I guess this is the official 4th mini series. So there will be plenty more videos in the future going over your hot takes. I will eventually cover all of them, but right now in this video I'm going to go over a handful that I wanted to cover. But eventually everyone's will get read, do not worry. So let's just hop right into this. This video is way overdue. Having a male idol group in the next Splatoon game won't ruin the female-led franchise. Now this is a little jab at a video I had covered a while ago. I'm pretty sure y'all have seen it about the blatant sexism in whatever I put on the thumbnail. Y'all know the video by Mahi Megan, talk about how she doesn't want male idols and how the video is pretty sexist. Although I do want to say I kind of handled that video poorly. I could have handled it a lot better and been a lot nicer, but whatever, what's done is done. And not getting off topic, yeah, having male idol groups won't really, I mean, if anything, it'll make the game more popular. It'll satisfy a lot of fans. I know people have wanted male idols for a very long time, like male Inkling or Octoling idols, not just fucking Big Man. So having a male idol group, if not the entire group, at least one of the members being like a male cephalopod, would bring a lot of hype and a lot of fan art, a lot of talk about the game and the idol in general. So despite what Megan was saying, a male idol group would probably be a lot better for this series than just having another female group. Okay, I'm not trying to get back into what she said, but yes, having a male idol group in the next game will not ruin anything at all. It's not going to ruin the female like representation or whatever. DJ Octavio is heavily underrated. Now, I can't really speak on this as I don't play the Splatoon story modes. I'm still in like the first area on Splatoon 1. Splatoon 2, I'm like halfway through. Splatoon 3, I'm also like halfway through. So I don't play any of the story modes except for the 2 DLC ones, being Octo Expansion and Side Order. Those are like the only, I guess, quote, story modes that I would play for Splatoon. I'm just not really a fan. I play Splatoon for the damn online multiplayer, which is the main aspect of it. So surprise, surprise. So I can't really speak on DJ Octavio, but what I can say is that my perception of him has grown more positive over the years. I used to not really care for him. Now I'm a little less indifferent, I guess. I used to think Deep Cut was boring, but they're growing on me. I can kind of see that. Deep Cut, I mean, people would think Deep Cut is boring because they got like no story. They have like 0 backstory or development. I still don't understand why we don't really have anything on them. But like over time, they will start to grow on you when you've like seen and heard them so many times. So this one makes sense. Both the Squid Sisters are cool, but there is no reason one should be favored over the other. Yes, there is, because Marie is very clearly and obviously the objectively better Squid Sister. Alright, Callie doesn't even need to be there, alright? It would have been just fine if it was just the Squid Sister with Marie. There's no need to have Callie there, alright? I am the biggest Callie hater, and I will never explain why, because it is just so much funnier if I constantly hate on Callie and never say why. Personally, I think the Squid Sisters have overstayed their welcome. It made sense why they were in 2's hero mode, but in 3 they're just sort of there. Yeah, I completely agree with this. This is something I've been saying for a while now. There is no reason why the Squid Sisters need to be in every single game. I understand they are the first ones, they're like iconic and nostalgic, but goddamn, they're just, like they said, overstaying their welcome. There's no reason they need to be in 3-story mode. What they could have done is given deep cut some more spotlight in Splatoon 3 story mode. Like, they're getting shafted in their own game by the damn Squid Sisters. There's no reason for the new Squid Beak Splatoon to be in Alterna, like, at all. Why didn't y'all just give that screen time to Deep Cut and develop them more? We don't need the Squid Sisters in every game. It's just like Xenoblade. We don't need Shulk in every single fucking game, or Shulk and Rex in every single fucking game. Shulk has been in every single game, minus X, of course, since Xenoblade 1. He's in Xenoblade 1, he's in Xenoblade 2 as a fucking DLC, he's in Xenoblade 3 kind of in the Xenoblade 3 DLC, so he's basically in the game, and then you even get him in the game anyway. So like, we don't need the most iconic and nostalgic character to be in every single game, and that goes for like any series, Xenoblade, Splatoon, anything. We don't need the first ones in every single game. That just makes them less special and more boring. So I completely agree with this one. The concept of seasonal updates are good, we just didn't get enough content in them. Yeah, this is more of like a Splatoon 3 issue. I was satisfied with what we had, but many people were not. Apparently, 9 fucking weapon kits was not enough for people to like try out. 2 stages and 9 weapon kits weren't enough. I don't understand. Maybe it's being spoiled by Splatoon 2. I wasn't there for Splatoon 2 updates, so I don't know how that went, but at least for like a newcomer, not really a newcomer, I started playing Splatoon 2 in like 2020 after updates were over, but like my Splatoon 3 was my first like Splatoon game where I was there for launch all the way to its lifespan. So maybe I don't understand because I didn't know what Splatoon 2's was like. I do know Splatoon 2 got a shit ton of content, but you also have to remember they got a content extension which lasted the same amount of time as Splatoon 3. So then again, I can't be saying anything. The Fryethusiast not being called Fryethusiast is Splatoon's biggest crime. I fucking hate this so much. I hate when people pronounce my name or spell my name Fryethusiast. There is very clearly no N in there anywhere. Why do people keep putting the N? And I've explained this before and I'll explain it again. The origin of my name is I literally just took Fry and Enthusiast and then put it together and took out the N because it just sounds better. Like the ending E of Fry and the beginning E of Enthusiast, I just combined together to make into one word so it all flows smoothly, and just took out the N because it sounds better. It sounds a lot smoother like that. Fry Enthusiast sounds gross. Fryethusiast, you see how it kind of just all flows together so well. So that's like the name lore. I mean, what else do I really have to say? Fryethusiast just, it really grinds my asshole. Splatoon needs more collabs. This isn't even a hot take, this is just an objective fact. I kind of preferred the graphics in Splatoon 1 and 2. Sure, they were technically worse, but felt more appealing to me. I mean, I like Splatoon 3's like look. Maybe because it's just the smoothest, fastest, and the one I'm most used to since I've put more time into 3 than anything else. But the art styles of, or I guess graphics of Splatoon 1 and 2 are pretty nostalgic, especially 1. So especially with someone who started with 1, I could understand if they'd prefer 1 and 2's just because of nostalgia. Tartar is the best villain in the series, and Mr. Grizz is basically Tartar but a mammal. Alterna is also just Octo expansion but with less creative bosses. Felt like Deep Cut was just included because they couldn't think of boss ideas. Tartar being the best villain, yeah. Mr. Grizz basically Tartar but a mammal, basically, yeah. Alterna is just Octo expansion but with less creative bosses. Again, I haven't really played the story mode, and last time I did it was years ago, so I have no idea. I don't remember what the levels are like at all, but if it's like Octo expansion, then I would enjoy it. So I don't know why I haven't played the damn story mode. And it felt like Deep Cut was included just because they ran out of boss ideas. Yeah, there wasn't really any reason why Deep Cut needed to be boss fights, but they are pretty cool, so I'm not really complaining. Humanoid salmonids and salmonlings are a horrible and boring idea for Splatoon and should stay fan-made. Oh my god, finally someone who agrees. I have to say the same for the other nonsensical ling species like sharklings, mantlings, jellylings, and at this point I don't need another playable like species. Also, side order has wasted potential. Oh my god, bro, I cannot fucking emphasize how much I hate that fucking stupid ass like cuddling salmonling shit. And Moat, I know you're fucking watching this video. Cut that shit out. It is not funny. It is just extremely aggravating and irritating. That is all you talk about and bring up. It is so old. Please stop that shit. But this stupid ass salmonling shit, that makes no sense whatsoever. And like I had already made in my video about like what's the deal with male idols and cuddlings, we don't need another playable species. Inklings and octolings are enough. The only reason we have octolings, the inklings, all right? There's no need for cuttlefish. They're already pretty much squids, just with like different eyes, I guess. That's really the only difference in terms of like aesthetically. There is no reason to have a whole nother species, a playable species at that. And if they did, then they would either have to retcon the entire series to add this new species in, or give a shit ton of time in the story and lore of like Splatoon 4 or whatever, dumping a ton of time and resources into like building up this new species lore. They can't just introduce a new species out of nowhere. Where the hell did they come from? How come it took this long for them to show up? There's like so many inconsistencies to new playable species, and we just don't need it. We just don't need them. Inklings and octolings are enough. Holy shit. Nintendo watered down the Squid Sisters heavily by having them be the main focus for 3 games straight. See? I'm telling you, bro, we're not the only ones who are sick of the Squid Sisters. Honestly, I'm glad we're most likely not going to see them in person in Splatoon 4 because we need a change of focus. Please, Nintendo, and thank you in advance. Yes, bro. See? That's what I'm saying. People are sick of seeing them in every single game. The more we see them, the less special they get. Maybe a cameo here and there would be nice, but they don't need to be the main focus of the story mode in every single game. There's just no reason for that. Them being in Splatoon 2 story mode makes sense because we team up with Marie to go help take Callie back from DJ Octavio. But what was the reason to having them in Splatoon 3 story mode? For what reason? Inkopolis Plaza and Square are nowhere near Splatsville. Why do they need to be there other than just nostalgia? Okay, maybe you could have like a cameo of them showing up in the final boss fight, but they don't need to be there in the main story. They don't even do anything. The whole story is just about finding Captain Cuttlefish, really, and then at the end, that's when we finally focus on the fuzziness and Mr. Grizz and all that. There's no reason to have the Squid Sisters there again. Not my biggest take, but I think the next installment, whenever it shall release, should focus more on the sea creatures in the deeper parts of the ocean. I don't know if they mean like they should make some of the weirder like deep sea alien looking sea creatures like NPCs, like have them show up and have them like interact with the ecosystem of Splatoon. That would be cool, but it wouldn't really make a whole lot of sense, like anatomically, I guess, is that the word? Because I mean, they're way at the bottom of the fucking ocean, so far down where not even sunlight reaches that far. It's just pitch black, so they're like made to live down there. They wouldn't survive on the surface for various reasons. So I don't know, it would be a cool concept, but I guess I'm just thinking too much into the science of it and kind of ruining the fun. But that would be cool to see those like weird transparent head fish and like otherworldly alien looking jellyfish and all of that. That would be pretty dope. Mr. Grizz is a great villain. I agree. Heavy metal in Splatoon would be a great idea. That would be pretty cool. There's so many different genres of music in Splatoon that I'm kind of surprised they haven't really implemented anything like metal or rock. Well, I mean, there is kind of rock, but there's not really any metal musics. I guess the closest we got to was that one like Enpuri, what was it, like commercial trailer that Japan got in Splatoon 2 to like show off the Emperor dualies and like the Milky Eminence outfit and all that. So that's the closest we got, and it was a cool song, so I don't know why they don't do that more. I like the original spawn area from Splatoon 1 and 2 and wish they'd never change it because I don't really like the one in Splatoon 3. I can understand that the spawn areas in 1 and 2 were very cool, and I mean it was easier to like maneuver and move because like you just spawn there and then swim out. You don't have to like blast out of some pod. But I do like the pods in Splatoon 3 a lot more. It's harder to spawn camp with the like launching from the pods, and you have more freedom of where you actually want to land. So I like the pods, but I can understand why someone would prefer the spawning points. I think Splatoon 4 should have muscular hot male idols. It would definitely bring much more needed variety to an existing roster of idols. See, yeah, that would be cool. I don't really have any issues with that. I wouldn't really care about them because, you know, I'm not really a fan of muscular hot men. So that's not my market. I'm more into the, you know, women, the females. So I mean that would be cool to have more variety and just see all the funny fan art and moments with them. So I mean it would make a lot of fans happy, so there's really no reason not to. Tower control sucks, motion controls suck, and E-leader should be banned. Probably the actual first hot take on this entire list. I've agreed with almost everything here, but this one I do not agree. Tower control, no. Why does it suck? Because someone has to sit on the tower. Just get an anchor. The problem solved. I don't really see the issue. Motion controls don't suck. They just very clearly don't. All right, just because you are bad with them does not mean they suck. You're just bad with motion controls, and that's all it is. Motion controls are objectively better to use than stick because you have more precise aiming as well as faster aiming. So I don't really see how motion controls are bad, and E-leaders should be banned. No, although I hate fighting E-leaders, and they are pretty hard to fight if like the E-leader is a very good player, but they're not that bad to where they need to be banned. Okay, just be unpredictable with your movement. I don't really know what else to tell you. There is counterplay to E-leaders, so I mean just get better, I guess. Mr. Mint Picker says, my hot take is that in Salmon Run, stingers are worse than flatfish. They cause a player more damage on average, and 2 stingers on one side of the map can almost insta-kill a target. Nah, it's pretty easy to avoid stingers. Flyfish are a lot more annoying, especially if there are multiple of them. All those titty missiles just flying all over the place is pretty annoying, especially if it's like paired with an ink storm, just like getting comboed from splash damage from the missiles inside of an ink storm while also having a stinger on you. Yeah, but I feel like flyfish are more annoying and take a higher priority than stinger. Actually, you know what? No, because missiles are pretty easy to avoid if you like have enough ink and enough room. Stingers, they're a bit harder to avoid, despite what I literally said at the beginning. So okay, Mint Picker, I actually kind of agree with you on this one for like the first time ever. And finally we have one from Silvercast, aka my hubby, I mean my friend. It says, edit, because I kind of went on a tangent with the original comment, so just TLDR here. Yeah, I am not reading all that. Splatoon 4 should be a soft reboot for the franchise, and I feel like that's what it's going to be anyway. Splatoon 3 was the end of this storyline, the end of this Splatastic saga, which means Splatoon 4 or whatever's next is going to start a whole new storyline. So just by that alone, it is inherently going to be something new anyway. So this is pretty much inevitable. And that is all of the hot takes for this video, at least. Hopefully y'all enjoyed them. A lot of these weren't even hot takes and I just agreed with them, which is typically the case with hot takes. There's a lot that I agree with since I have like a very contrarian mindset, not like intentionally, but like a lot of things people don't like, I like. A lot of things people like, I don't like. So it's very like opposite. So a lot of these I agree with, except for that one about tower control sucking, motion control sucking, and e-leader needing to be banned. Like at that point, just get better at the game. That's all it really is. But yeah. Next hot take video will come out whenever it does. All right, I don't know when. Y'all may have to wait a week, y'all may have to wait a whole year. All right, I don't plan these videos out. They're all impulsive uploads, just on the spot. Whenever I feel like making it, I'll make it. That's how it is. I'm sorry, but y'all have to wait. At least it'll be a surprise because you don't know when it'll drop. But next video, the next video that's coming after this one, I feel like y'all will enjoy. The old Fryethusiast is back with the next video. So we're going back to my old content. My content has kind of been dropping in quality over these past several months, and I kind of miss the old content that I used to make. So I'm gonna start going back to that. So please look forward to the next video. Y'all will very much enjoy that. But until then, that's about it. See you next mission and play some goddamn Splatty.